Hello viewers, this is Clayton with Our Time for Adventures. I'm sure a lot of you have already seen the new track setup. We got the new double loop. Got some races rocking on that right now on YouTube. By the time this video gets out, be some races up for that. Some awesome races, hope everyone's enjoying it. Some shorts, full custom tournaments. And obviously we got the plaque here in the middle. Love that part of the track. 100,000 subscribers now. But we have the track set up a little different today. We are going to show how to fix broken monster trucks and swap some parts. We've had a lot of questions on how to get the wheels off when they break, how to straighten axles, how to do some body swaps. So we're gonna do some of that here for everyone today. We got some other colors here that we're gonna break some wheels and actually show how to get them off the axle. I'm going to show you how to straighten an axle on the chassis and off the chassis. Then just how to swap out some wheels, some tires, some bodies, some of the tools we use. I'll go over that. Obviously we got a hair dryer, different assortments of pliers, and we also have a drill for doing some of the swaps. So that's what today's video is going to be about, how to repair your damaged monster truck, because I know a lot of our fans definitely have some damaged and broken trucks. And we're gonna show you how to fix them. So let's dive into it, see what we got. So first up, I wanna go over some of the tools that we use. Heather is here with us from the Mom Group and the Our Time for Adventures channel. Say hi, Heather. Hi. She's not in many of the videos, but thought she'd be here helping out for the Mom Group. And we have one of her fancy hair dryers here that we use to take off the wheels and the tires. A lot of people use boiling water. I recommend not doing that because then you're dealing with boiling water. Personally, I like the hairdryer better, but if the boiling water works for you, go ahead and use it. We've got some different size sockets I'll go over as we use them. Got some different pliers. These are called side cutters. I know a lot of people here aren't mechanics, so these are side cutters or little wire snips. Got a couple different pairs of pliers and channel locks. A number 1 tipped Phillips screwdriver for taking the Spin Master bodies off. And then we have some pliers that I make and use. Other people have found other ways to get the wheels off, but to me this is the easiest, and you'll see why. I don't have any of the Amazon pliers that some of the people say they use. I wish I did to compare, because ours are definitely easier. But yeah, there's plenty of ways to do this stuff. You don't have to do it this way. We're just going to show you how we do it. So we're going to take some of these trucks here that have good axles, nothing bent. We're going to bend some axles, break some wheels, and show everyone how to repair them. So let's go ahead and do that now. All right, so we know things happen in MonsterJam. We've got one of our new Our Time for Adventures jumps out. We got Ryan Anderson doing some freestyle, pleasing the crowd. Check him out, look at him go. Wah! Everyone loves Ryan Anderson. Get some two-wheel action going on, because you know that's what he's good at. Some big air. Oh no, he broke the wheel off. What's gonna happen now in this freestyle? It might be over. But he did create some work for the crew, didn't he? Check it out. This is what happens. Most commonly, we get broken wheels or we get bent axles. Let's go ahead and bend one. See, look at that. That was pretty extreme. Definitely extreme. But this is what happens with a lot of trucks. So we're gonna show you guys how to fix them. We got a bent axle. We got a broken wheel. So what do you do now? We have a plethora of spare parts. And this is kind of what happens. If you get a broken truck, keep the spare parts around, because you never know when you might need something else, okay? So one of the things we get asked all the time is, how do we get this little piece off of the axle, and how do we fix the bent axles? So first off, we're gonna go ahead and kind of show you how to fix the bent axle on the truck. And obviously this one's pretty extreme, so I may not get it perfectly straight. But what you want to do is, wherever the wheels sag down like that, see how they go up and down? What you want to do is find the high spot where they're highest up on the truck. And what we're going to do is, we're going to grab the top of the wheels. See where they're tilted out? We're going to grab the top of the wheels here and squeeze in while pushing down on the chassis. So push down, squeeze in, squeeze in. Let's see how close we got very first shot. It's actually not too bad. Look at that. So we got a little play in them still. You can see they wobble just a little bit. So what you want to do is roll it a few times. You're going to feel the truck go up and down. I'll try to zoom in on this to see it better. You're gonna feel it go up and down, and what you wanna do is find that high spot again. Maybe you went too far that way. It's like right here's low, right here's the high spot, and just push down and squeeze in a little bit again, okay? There you go. We actually got that pretty straight. Look at that. Obviously they're wobbling back and forth, but this one is pretty straight other than missing that front wheel. We had an extremely bent axle, and now it's pretty straight again. And we're gonna show you how to do it off the truck as well. So if you ever have a bent axle, go ahead and bend it again. See, completely bent. And later on in the video, I'm gonna show you how to do this without our tool, because a lot of people don't have it, obviously. And what we do is we take our tool that I made for getting wheels off, slide it inside where the wheels go, and just give it a little squeeze. Keep your fingers out of here, but just give it a little squeeze, and they pop right off. See that? Now you can see how bad that axle is actually bent. So if we spin it around, look at how bad those wheels are bent. So if you ever get the wheels off and you want to fix the bent axle, all you have to do is take some pliers, and it's the same thing. You want to bend it back the way that it was bent before. So you take your pliers just like that, and you just give it a little squeeze and bend it back down. That's actually pretty close. So we can put our tire back on, roll it, and see how it is. See, it's a little bit bent still. Not sure you can see that in the video going up and down. So even this, without this on the truck, you can take your pliers and just push down on the axle and squeeze in a little bit on the top of those wheels. There you go. Like, nice straight axle again. And then once the wheels are apart, they are easier to pull apart. You can pull them apart that way while they're on the truck, but it's very hard. Or you can use the tool if you get a tool. Then you just slip them back on, press them back together. And that's two ways to straighten an axle, on and off the truck. And now this one's ready to go racing again. But we still have to fix the front wheel because we have had a catastrophe. So what you want to do, take your additional wheels or any chassis or parts. A lot of people have asked if you can buy parts online. You can buy parts from people, but we suggest just buying a whole nother truck, because by the time you pay for parts and pay shipping, you can just go to the store and buy another truck with the same color parts and just take it apart and use it as parts. So you're gonna save yourself a lot of money that way. So first off, what we're gonna do, we have to get this old broken piece off, which a lot of people ask about. How do you get this tiny little piece off of here, okay? So the way we do it, grab one of our other tools here. I have these little side cutters. And again, this is just our way. There's plenty of ways to do this. You can use a little Dremel and cut this off. You can try to just take pliers and snip at it and get it off. But if you take these side cutters and just grab right here on the top of the plastic, it's just a plastic part and it will cut off. See that? Just cuts right through it. And then you take this off, and there you go. You have your two pieces of the wheel, and now that wheel is off, and you can get this out. And see, this axle is a little bent too. You can see it right there. Tiny little bend. So you can take this plier and just push down, push up. There you go. Grab it right there in the middle. Down and up. One more time. There we go. Now we got a straight axle that we can reuse with another good wheel. Now, obviously this wheel's broken, so we can always save the tires for future projects as well. We're gonna show you how to get the tires off. That's where I personally use some sockets. Super easy. So the wheels take, see if you can see that on there, a 9mm socket, not a 10, because any mechanic knows you don't have extra 10mm sockets laying around. A 9mm fits right inside the wheel and holds it nicely. And I use an extension that we can push on it. We heat this up a little bit with the hair dryer just to get the rubber pliable. And again, some people boil it. If you want to do that, that's fine. And then I just use, this one is a 27mm. 12 point is the same size as the tire, the outer diameter of the tire. So once you heat the tire up, just put this on here, push that through, and the tire comes right off. Let's go ahead and do it. All right, we got our hair dryer. It's to heat up the wheel, the tire, and this is gonna be kind of loud, so I'm gonna mute it here so you won't hear the hair dryer, but I'm just gonna heat the tire up around the tire and around the wheel. So let's get that done and I'll show you how it comes apart. While we're heating up this tire to get it off, I just want to let everyone know that the wheel removal tools and 3D printed tracks seen in this video are available on our website at ourtimeforadventures.com. And check the video description for a discount code you can use on our website. All right, it doesn't take long. You don't want to overheat it because they will melt. But then you just put it right on top of the smaller socket in the wheel. Take your bigger socket, and then we just press down, going around, and boom. Now you have your broken wheel out of the tire, and now you have a good BKT tire that you can still use on future trucks, which we're actually going to show you right now, because this truck that is broken has BKTs. We want to put this tire back on a wheel to match, or you can just swap it out with 4 blue wheels without BKTs, either way. So let's go ahead. Now we have our one good wheel and axle. Let's go ahead and take these tires off. I'm going to show you guys how to do this one without using our tool. So what you want to do is, again, I use a hair dryer and just lightly heat up the wheels on the insides where they attach, and you can pull them apart. It's just a lot more difficult. When you're doing hundreds of trucks like we do, the pliers are the way to go. But let's go ahead and get this one apart without the pliers. Okay, now that they're heated up, another thing you can do is, as you pull this, we want to take these tires off right away so we can put our other BKT on, okay? Let's go ahead and get these apart. And parts go flying just like that. But you can pull them apart when they're warmed up, okay? Now, while they're still warm, we want to take that same socket, and you don't have to use the other socket. You can use your hand once they're hot, and just pull the tire off. See that? Tire starts to slide off, wheel pops out, just like so. Go ahead and do the same with the other one. So now we have 2 tires without BKT. We have 2 wheels that we can use for spare parts. This one already has the axle on it, so we're gonna put this wheel over here. But we gotta put this other tire on this wheel. And you wanna make sure the treads face the same direction, because you don't want a backwards tread like that once they're on the truck. You wanna make sure they're this way. And of course the BKTs, if you have BKT, they face out. So let's go ahead and heat that back up and get it back on the wheel. Just that quick. Now I find it easier to put the wheel back on the axle to put the tire on it, because it gives you a little more leverage to push. Once it's warm, go ahead and work it in there. Now you got your tire back on, okay? Now you have another blue set of BKT wheels and tires for our destroyed freestyle champion. And go and pull these back apart. Put these back in the chassis. Give it a nice snug push on there so they stay. There you go. The crew has done incredible here for MonsterJam Freestyle. Son of a Digger is ready to rock, ready to go please the crowd and do some more action. Let's go. All right, so the next part I want to show you guys, now that Ryan Anderson's ready to go back and hit the track, some big air competition, and look at how smooth this rolls. Look at that. It's not quite brand new, but it's really close. So it's ready for some playtime and some action, that's for sure. Now, a lot of people also ask, how do we get this extra axle piece out of the wheel? We do not take ours out. We leave one side in there because it's just easier to match up everything. But if you really want to take that out, you can do the same thing we just did, okay? I have a little pair of vice grips, 5-inch vice grips, and what I do is I just grab this other side of the axle, right where the knurled part is that holds the wheel on. Let me take this back off so you can see that. There's little ridges in the axle right here that mount to the wheel. So I just use the vice grips, grab it right there, get a good hold of it, and then you can heat this up again and pull it off. Or, like I was saying, because we do so many, we just grab it with our pliers and now the pliers have something to push against, and the wheel just comes right off, see? So there you go. So if you ever wanted to straighten an axle completely out of there, you would do the same thing. I just use some pliers, and let's say you have a bent axle, which now we do, right? See the bend in that? I'm gonna put a little bigger bend in it. I mean, if you have a bent axle that's off of a truck, you can just use some pliers and vice grips and straighten it back out. So you just grab one end of it, take some more pliers, grab it kind of in the middle where the bend is, and just bend it the opposite direction. See? That's really close already. Pretty straight, pretty easy. So you can do it on the truck, you can do it off the truck. Now you have an extra axle, you have an extra blue wheel. If you ever need it for another custom or another repair, you have some extra tires. And this is how you end up with tubs and tubs of stuff and matching parts. So we have a plethora of tubs. I think, how many tubs do you think we have upstairs? Like 8 or 10 of just random parts? Bodies and chassis and bases.
6 of extra tubs.
Yeah, trucks that need to be taken apart as well. So, I mean, obviously, we're on the extreme side of things, but if you ever just have a couple trucks laying around, and you don't have to put the same color tires back on or the same color wheels, you can swap them up. You know, if you want red wheels on a truck, do it the same way. Pull your red wheels off one truck, pull green wheels off another truck, and swap them out. You know, I do have a lot of customs sitting in the back here that everyone can see, and we'll kind of look at those here later. I'm going to do a custom video soon. Show everyone how to build some of the customs that we build and get more in depth into that. We'll talk about some paints here in a little bit. But right now, what I want to show you guys how to do is take some other trucks apart and make one of our color crays just by swapping parts out. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. All right, on to the next step. Son of a Digger's ready to go. Make sure you check out ourtimeforadventures.com for all of our track pieces. You can build your own tracks at your house. We have plenty of stuff there with new models coming soon as well. So get some of these parts out of the way. Of course, broken parts we just throw away. Everything else we keep, wheels, tires, keep all that stuff. One thing we want to kind of talk about here is Hot Wheels and Spin Master MonsterJam. 2 different trucks. Let's clean up some more of this stuff here. Get it out of the way so you guys can see what's going on. So with Spin Master, probably the more popular truck here in the US. I know over in the UK, Hot Wheels, I believe, are more popular. But this is going to be very hard to see. Right down in the center of the chassis, on the bottom, Spin Master has a screw that holds everything together. So let's go ahead and take that screw out of this one. Kind of show you guys what's going on. There it is. Teeny tiny little screw. And these screws do get lost. Can't even hardly see it. Here, let's do this. There we go. Now you can see that. Teeny tiny little screw. And Jessica from the mom group just recently found out what size screws those are. And in case you lose them, we have a whole pack of them right here. These are off Amazon. And these ones are a whole set of little Phillips screws. So they are M 2.5 by 6, 100 pieces on Amazon. This was like $8. So you can get all kinds of spare screws in case you lose them, okay? So kind of neat to have. But once the screw is out, as we have it, set it there, the body just slides right off. And as you can see, here's the hole where the screw goes. This little pin that most of these trucks have here on the windshield goes right down here inside this base of the chassis. And then the roll cage portion, which I call the chassis, everyone calls it something different, I guess. But the roll cage portion, the yellow part, just clips into place. So I'm gonna pull these wheels and tires off, because what we're gonna do is we're gonna make one of our color crazes. And here's one of the yellow bases we're gonna use. And we're gonna put a Sparkle Smash body on it because of the yellow horn. So let's go ahead and take this part real quick, take the wheels off the gray, and we'll pull the chassis off. So we use our plier again, give it a little squeeze, comes right apart. And we will have more of these pliers available soon if anyone wants some. Again, give it a little squeeze, comes right apart. there's our wheels and tires. And then the roll cage sits in the front portion first. You can see here where it clips over the axle hole. And in the back, you just push up right here and it unclips and then just pulls off. Okay, so now you can swap those out. And we're gonna swap the gray out. Again, this is gonna go in our parts pile because one may break later. Don't ever throw this one away. And of course, we'll have a blue one from parts we stole off this to fix Son of a Digger. And then we take our yellow base, slide the yellow cage on, clips in front first, and then just push down on the back, clip, done. Now the treads, you can put them on however you want, but technically the treads are supposed to point forward on the truck. So when the truck's sitting, top of the tread goes forward, and you want to match that up. See, this wheel came off and it's the wrong side. See that? The treads are backwards. So it's this wheel that goes on the front. So go ahead and put your wheel on, give her a little squeeze. If you go too far, the wheels will hit inside on the base and they won't spin freely. So, but if they're too loose, they'll come back off again at some point. So there we go. Got the fronts on. Go ahead and do the rears. Obviously this one goes through the other side because it came off the wrong way. Well, the opposite way, I should say. There's no wrong way. Then go ahead and put the other tire back on. And there you go. So now we have all of our yellow components. We just need to mount the body. Now, one thing I want to point out, the El Toro Loco is a metal casting with a plastic windshield, okay? The metal casting has a metal post for the hole. That is a fine thread screw like I just showed you, which is different than bodies like Sparkle Smash. Because Sparkle Smash on the inside has a lot of plastic, and this post right here is plastic. So if you look at that screw, those threads are a lot more coarse than the El Toro Loco. So you have to use that screw in a plastic mounted body. And let me take it out and I'll show you. That way you can see the difference. So this is kind of hard to see because I've ginormous man hands here. Let's do this and see. Yeah, can you do it here? So right there, whoop. As you can see, this screw is much smaller and has very fine threads. The screw is a lot longer and has very coarse threads, okay? So plastic base or plastic body, metal body. So anytime you're using a truck like that, what you want to do is, obviously we had this base here. There's still a screw in it, so you can just push it out with a screwdriver from the top side. There you go. So now we have an extra screw for a metal body. And we're going to use the coarse thread screw. Let's see if, there we go, that helps. See the coarse thread on there? You just put Sparkle Smash back together. Check that out, that's so cool looking. Go ahead and drop your screw down inside the center. Kind of wiggle it into place. Take your screwdriver, screw it back together. Now on the plastic ones, if you over tighten this will strip and the body will be, do you hear Heather? Ah, no, don't strip it. So here's Heather's new custom color craze, pineapple color craze. Check that out, ready to go battle Son of a Digger. Boom. And that's that part. Now give me 1 second and I'm gonna show you guys how to take a Hot Wheels apart because these are a little different. These don't have a screw. So let me grab some tools, I'll be right back. All right, fans, it's on to the next step. We've gone over some axle repairs, some wheel and tire replacements, some chassis swaps, truck repairs, broken wheels, good times. Some of the tools we've used. Now, I want to go over some of the differences between some of the Spin Master and Hot Wheels trucks because there definitely are differences, okay? So we just went over the Spin Masters with the center hole and the screw. Let's see, can you actually see down in there? Almost. So the Spin Masters all have the screw. The Hot Wheels have two different versions, okay? So we're gonna move on to the Hot Wheels. We have a Barbie here, but has little chips, so we're gonna make custom out of it. The Barbie has a small hole down inside, okay? So let's kind of go over these. The newer Hot Wheels, Demo Derby, some of the new 24s, 25s, have a huge hole down in the center, which you can see. Put these side by side for comparison. See the difference there? Down in the center. So the Barbie in this tiny little hole has a triangle screw. It's not a Phillips, it's a teeny tiny little triangle. And this is kind of like a jeweler's set or a phone repair set. It's a number 2 triangle, but it's got to be pretty long to be able to get down inside that hole. The newer ones are riveted again. There's a rivet down inside there where they take the post of the metal of the body and squish it together with the chassis, so you can't just unscrew it. What you have to do with that is drill it out. Ha ha ha, Tim the Toolman Taylor. Drill bit, 3/16. We're gonna show you how to drill that out. Be very careful. Kids, if you are watching this, do not use the drill. Have your parents do this part, okay? Because this drill will go through your hand, it will make you bleed, it will hurt you, okay? So make sure your parents are doing it for you or supervising, okay? Do not use this on your own, please. Our kids don't even use it, so I help them with it if they need help, okay? So please don't do it. And then we're gonna take the triangle screw out of the Barbie vet. We are going to drill apart Demo Derby. So let's go ahead and show you how to do that now. All right, so next thing we want to show you guys is the difference in the Spin Master and Hot Wheels. We just went over the Spin Master with the screw down in the center. All of the Spin Masters have that little screw, okay? I'm blocking the view, there we go. All the Spin Masters have that little screw. Now, some of the Hot Wheels have a triangle screw, which actually, it's a good thing I didn't drill this out because this one has a triangle screw down there. So give me 1 second, I'll be right back. Okay, got that problem resolved. Now have the right triangle bit. There you go, that one looks a little better. So with the triangle bit, now we can take the Barbie apart. And like I said, it's kind of tough to get it in there because it's just down inside there, you can't see it. And some of these screws are extremely tight. We have stripped a few out and then you do need to drill it out again, but. So here is your Barbie body with a little chip on it. But like I said, we're gonna make custom out of this. A couple little chips. Here's a base that Heather painted. Let me see if I can get, it's all glittery. Check that out. So I believe that Barbie's gonna go on here eventually. When you do a swap from Hot Wheels to, actually this one fits pretty good. Do a swap from Hot Wheels to Spin Master. Sometimes you got to trim them up a little bit. They don't quite fit, but this one you can see inside the post actually fits in there. And the front post fits. This one could just bolt right up. They don't always work that way. But then once you have the body off, definitely keep the Hot Wheels screws with the Hot Wheels cars because they are different. So just kind of snug that up back in the base. Okay. And then Hot Wheels come apart the same way Spin Master do. If you have any broken wheels, bent axles, you can fix them the same way we just did with the Spin Master trucks. And then the chassis just pop off. I think Hot Wheels has 5 or 6 different versions of chassis depending on the body. Some are taller, some are shorter. We'll take a look at that when we get Demo Derby apart. And then same with the wheels. You can just pop the wheels off using either our tool or a hairdryer. Take our tool, stick it in there, works on Spin Master and Hot Wheels, pry them apart, boom, there we go. So if you ever wanted to swap this out, we got a wheel rolling away. But we'll kind of keep it together for now. I'm not sure what Heather wants to do with this body. Do you have any idea what you're gonna do with this body? Not yet? No, it's gonna be a custom. It's gonna be a secret. Nobody can know. So let's just crush it for now. Yeah, crunch. I just got yelled at. Don't do that, kids. All right, so now, this is the part you have to be very careful about. Heather just comes in and steals the Corvette body. That way I don't mess it up. Because, you know, me and power tools, Milwaukee power tools, I can damage some stuff. So when you're doing this, what you want to do is that little rivet down in there. It's very hard to see. I use a 3/16 drill bit, and you just want to hit that little rivet right in the middle a few times and push on something solid. Okay, I don't know if you're going to be able to see this. Just drill it out a few times. This bit's kind of dull. I need to get a new one. And then as you're seeing it, you'll see little metal pieces coming off down in there. See that? This bit is apparently very dull. It could have been done by now. Should have been. There we go. Now it should come off. Third time's the charm, right? So just go ahead and give it a little wiggle and a pull. Boom! There we go. So now we have the demo derby body off. And as you can see, these are sharp, so always be careful with that. That little post in there now, right there, is where the rivet was, and it's a solid post now. So there is no screw hole. So to reattach these, if you're ever gonna reattach these to a Spin Master, let's see, we'll have to look at the metal one since the other one's gone. You will have to drill this hole out as well and get this to slide down inside there. And then you can glue it together. We use E6000 and we'll cover some of that in our customs video. So, but that's how you get these bodies off. That's how you get the Barbie body off, which Heather took. She didn't want me to have. She thought I'd destroy it. I don't blame her. And then the chassis, like I was saying, you can use these parts, the demo derby parts, chassis for other stuff. You can take this cage off. I mentioned that Hot Wheels has a couple different roll cages for different bodies. See the height differences there? So you can swap those out, do some different colored stuff. We don't do a whole lot with Hot Wheels unless we're making some cars or Mario Kart Hot Wheels, some customs. We'll get into all that in our customs video. So that's about it. That's how you take them apart, get some wheels and tires off, swap some bodies out, get some spare parts to sit around. You got some chassis, bodies, and then like I said, always keep your old spare parts because you never know when you're gonna need them. Wheels especially, axles. Some of the tools we went over. Let's go ahead and go over some of these tools again here real quick before we end the video and kind of give you a rundown, and then we'll look at some of the stuff that we use for customs and let you know that we do have the customs video coming soon. So let's go ahead and take a look at that real quick. All right, so let's go ahead and go over this one more time, wrap up this video for you. So we have some of our tools that we use. We got some pliers, vice grips, screwdrivers, Phillips, and triangle. We got some side cutters, any kind of tool you want to take the wheels off. Socket definitely helps take the tires off. Again, you don't need any of these tools. You can do it all with your hand, heat them up a little bit. Oh, go over some of this stuff too. Here's some of the stuff we use for customs. We use all kinds of different paint brushes, small paint brushes, fat paint brushes, really fine detail brushes. These are the chrome markers we like to use. You can get chrome markers at Hobby Lobby and Michael's and hobby stores, but we just get these off Amazon, and these are very chrome looking paint. Here's a custom grave digger I made, and you can see the engine and headers are all painted in chrome. Here is a really chrome grave digger we did. Everything on here is painted in that paint marker, including the tires. So we did the color craze with the chrome body. Well, the base is not, right? And the wheels are old chrome wheels, but we did the chassis is all painted in chrome. The tires are all painted in chrome, all with those markers, okay? Works really well. So you can do anything in customs. Some of the paints we use for doing customs, we just use acrylic paints from any hobby shop or Walmart. And they've got glow in the dark stuff. They've got some of these color shift paints or pearl paints like we used on the World Finals Kraken here that we did. Oh, that really glows in this light. Look at that. So it's a color shift paint to try to really match the color of the real truck. Got some other customs that we did. The Avengers World Final truck. Did the BKT custom Earthshaker before they came out with it. And that one was really cool. Got to show BKT at the World Finals in Nashville. That was awesome. Some other stuff we're gonna go over later on is, this is a Max D I made, the split color Max D, Maximum Destruction and Fire. That was a fun truck to make. We'll kind of go over some of that stuff and decals later. This truck here, this gray truck, is made by Bob Hagan. Diggers Diecast on Instagram. Everyone knows Bob. He does absolutely amazing work. In fact, I believe we probably have close to 40 or 50 of Bob's custom trucks because I just love his work. Nobody can match Bob, in my opinion. Here's a couple more up top. I'm definitely nowhere close to as good as Bob. And then we're gonna go over some of our other stuff that we can do. Like here's a custom shaker, the red shaker with the fire. I bobbed the back of it, make it look more realistic, black top. Some more paint brushes we use. We also use a bunch of markers. So we do paint markers for like fine detail work. And then Heather found this glitter paint, color shift glitter paint, which is incredible on things like this chassis. If you can get that in the light, see that up close. And then her custom Leopard Queen that was just in the adults race. See if I can get that color. This thing shines and sparkles like crazy. Look at that. Oh, there's a good shot on that roof. That is wild. So you can really do anything as far as customs go. And we're definitely gonna dive into a customs video more. We've had a lot of questions about that too. I'm gonna show how to make some like just Hot Wheels monster trucks, some Mario Kart monster trucks, and of course the Cars customs. We were the first ones to do the Cars customs, Disney Cars, and that just absolutely blew up. There's so many people making those now, it's awesome to see. But we're gonna show everyone how to do it so you can do it yourself at home. So if you guys have any questions on how to repair a monster truck, definitely find us on Facebook and ask questions there. Shoot us a message on Facebook or Instagram. You cannot comment on our YouTube videos because it's made for kids, but I would be glad to answer any questions anyone has. So this is Our Time for Adventures, repairing monster trucks, video number 1, and we hope you guys enjoyed it. See you soon in the races. Let's go racing. Bye. Thanks again for watching Our Time for Adventures. Until next time.